how does it feel being old? And my line in the script was, I don't understand how I got here. And I thought to myself, neither do I.
He was the definition of cool before the word even existed. With his thick black glasses, his sharp Cockney accent, and a suit that fit like armor, Michael Caine didn't just walk onto the screen. He took it over. He was Alfie. He was a man who told us, you're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off. He was a loyal Alfred who watched over Batman for 7 decades. He was the face of British cinema, a man who appeared in over 160 films, spanning every genre, every emotion, and every generation. If you watch movies for long enough, Michael Caine eventually walked into the frame. But today, in late 2025, the camera has stopped rolling. At 92 years old, updates about Michael Caine have slowed to a whisper. There are no new casting rumors, no talk of one last role. The man who once seemed to be working in every decade is now quietly stepping out of spotlight. He has officially put away his script. He has sold his beloved house in the countryside. And recent photos show a reality that breaks the hearts of those who remember him as the unstoppable spy Harry Palmer. He now relies on a walking stick, sometimes a wheelchair, to move through the world. The body that once commanded the screen is now careful, hesitant, fragile. But the most heartbreaking part isn't his physical decline. It is his brutal, honest acceptance of it. In a recent confession that shook the industry, he looked mortality in the eye and said, I am bloody 90 and I am on my way out. It wasn't a complaint. It was a verdict. In this video, we aren't just celebrating a career. We are saying goodbye to one of the last survivors of a golden generation. We will uncover the painful health battles that forced him to retire, the tragic loss of his best friends that left him lonely, and the beautiful reason why he says he is ready to go. The curtain is already half drawn. Let's pay our tribute before the lights go out completely. To understand the dignity of his end, you have to understand the improbability of his beginning. Michael Caine was not born a Sir. He was born Maurice Micklewhite in the poverty-stricken streets of South London. His father was a fish market porter. His mother was a cleaner. He grew up in a house with no toilet, dodging bombs during the Blitz of World War II. Nights were spent in air raid shelters, not in cinemas. He suffered from rickets, a disease of poverty caused by malnutrition that forced him to wear painful leg braces just to walk. His bones grew soft before his career turned hard as steel. By all accounts, he should have been a laborer. He should have been invisible. But Maurice had a fire inside him. When he decided to become an actor, the industry laughed at him. In the 1950s, actors spoke like royalty. They spoke the Queen's English. Michael spoke like a commoner. He had the wrong accent. He had the wrong background. Agents told him to quit. They said, no one wants to hear a Cockney voice in a leading role. Michael didn't change his voice. He changed what a leading man could sound like. When Zulu and the Ipcress File hit the screens, he shattered the class ceiling. He proved that you didn't need a pedigree to have presence. He made the working class look dangerous, intelligent, and incredibly sexy. The accent they told him to get rid of became his signature. He became a symbol for every kid who was told they weren't posh enough to succeed. He worked relentlessly. He took every job. He famously said, I never turned down a movie because I remember what it's like to be poor. That fear of poverty drove him for 70 years. It pushed him to win 2 Oscars. It pushed him to become a Knight of the Realm. It pushed him to keep saying yes long after other men would have retired. But no amount of Oscars can bribe Father Time. And eventually, the body that survived rickets and war began to fail. The decline didn't happen overnight. It was a slow, painful erosion. For the last decade, Michael Caine has been fighting a private war against his own spine. He suffers from spinal stenosis, a brutal condition where the spinal canal narrows, pinching the nerves. It causes constant pain, numbness, and weakness in the legs. Some days, standing still can feel like standing on broken glass. For a man who built his career on his walk, that confident, swaggering walk at Get Carter, losing his mobility was a devastating blow. The body that once moved with effortless cool now demands negotiation for every step. In late 2025, walking is no longer a simple act. It is a calculated risk. He has spoken openly about his fear of falling. You fall, you break a hip, and then you die, he said with his trademark bluntness, turning old age into a one-line truth. This physical struggle came to a head during the filming of his final movie, The Great Escaper. He was 89 years old. He played a veteran breaking out of a care home. The irony was cruel. He was playing a man struggling to move, while he himself was struggling to stand. Reports from the set were both inspiring and hard to watch. He needed a cane at all times. He could only do one take at a time. He needed constant rest between scenes. But when the director said, "Action," something shifted. The pain was still there, but the eyes changed. The timing, the instinct, the presence. Everything that made Michael Caine snapped back into place. The magic was still there, trapped in a body that could no longer keep up. After that film wrapped, Michael knew. He looked at the effort it took just to stand up, just across the room, and he made the call. "I've played the lead, and I'm 90, he said. "I can't do it properly anymore." He didn't want us to see him as a relic. He refused to become the actor audiences whisper about in the dark. He should have stopped years ago. So he announced his retirement, not with a press conference, but with a quiet nod in an interview. No drama, no farewell tour, just a simple decision from a man who has always known his lines. He put down the script, picked up his walking stick, and went home. But the tragedy of Michael Caine at 92 isn't just about his legs. It's about his heart. There is a specific kind of loneliness that comes with living this long. You become the last man standing. The room is still there, but the faces have changed. Michael Caine was part of a legendary generation. His best friends were the titans of the 20th century. He was best friends with Sean Connery, the original James Bond. They were inseparable. They came from the same background. Tough, working-class boys who conquered Hollywood by sheer force of will. When Sean Connery died in 2020, a part of Michael died with him. He was close to Roger Moore. When Roger passed, Michael was devastated again. Another chair at the table suddenly empty. In 2025, he looks around, and the table is almost empty. The laughter of his oldest friends is just an echo in his memory. The phone doesn't ring the way it used to, not because people have forgotten him, but because the ones who knew him best are gone. He recently admitted that he thinks about death every single day, not in a morbid way, but in a realistic way. He knows his friends are waiting on the other side. He's aware that he is now living in the epilogue of his own story, but he is not entirely alone. And this is the beautiful part of the tragedy. He has Shakira Caine, his wife of 52 years. She is the unsung hero of this story. Michael famously said that before he met her, he was drinking himself to death. He was drinking a bottle of vodka a day, lost in the pressure of fame and the emptiness that came after the applause. Shakira saved him. She calmed him. She gave him a reason to live past 50. She turned a self-destructive star into a man who wanted to come home at night. Now in his twilight, she is his legs. She is his memory. She is his world. He spends his days now not on film sets, but in his garden, watching his grandchildren play. He is no longer chasing premieres. He is watching school holidays. He says, "Grandchildren are my immortality." He has traded the adoration of millions for the love of a few. And for the first time in his life, that trade feels more than fair. Michael Caine is 92. He doesn't want our pity. He has lived a life that 99% of people can only dream of. He went from a boy with rickets in South London to a man who lived in Beverly Hills and dined with kings. He has nothing left to prove, to Hollywood, to critics, or to himself. But seeing him now, frail and rely on a walker, reminds us of the universal truth. The end comes for us all. No accent, no charm, no knighthood can negotiate a different contract with time. Bruce Willis taught us about the cruelty of losing one's mind. Clint Eastwood taught us about the refusal to stop working. Michael Caine teaches us something else, the grace of knowing when to stop. He teaches us that it is okay to be tired. It is okay to say, "I have done enough." It is okay to stop running and simply sit with the life you built. He isn't fighting the sunset. He is watching it. He is sitting in his chair, a glass of wine in his hand, a small one, allowed by his doctor, looking back at a life well lived and smiling. Not because it was perfect, but because it was his. He knows the credits are starting to roll, and he is at peace with the film. The projection light is dimming. We will never see a new Michael Caine performance. We will never hear that voice introduce a new character. But legends don't disappear. They move from the screen into the people who watch them. Michael Caine is no longer just an actor. He is now history. He is a standard, a measuring stick for presence, professionalism, and survival. As he enjoys his final chapter in peace, we hope he feels the love of the generations he entertained. He showed us that a working-class boy could be a sir. He showed us that you can be tough and kind at the same time. Sir Michael, if you are resting at home, thank you. To all the fans, let's send him off with a standing ovation in the comments. What is the one Michael Caine line or movie that you will never forget? Is it The Italian Job, The Dark Knight, or Secondhand Lines? Leave a comment below. And if you respect this legend, type legend in the chat. Subscribe to The Seventh Lens. We are the keepers of the flame. Good night, Maurice. And thank you for being Michael.